Well, my question is how complete is the plant? And also, my second question is, do you feel, I mean, with the opposition of the plant and the government in this dispute, do you feel the Lynas is victimized?
Question number one is, what is the status of the plant completion? We will be ready in a week's or 2 weeks' time. We are ready to fire in about a fortnight. Okay? That is where we are. We are talking about phase 1. When you go around the plant, please note there are phase 1 and phase 2. So phase 1 is ready to fire in about a fortnight. What was your second question?
Do you feel Lynas is being victimized?
Yes, in your question whether Lynas feel victimized, I would say that this delay, the delay has impacted Lynas very seriously, because you see, the whole purpose of the temporary operating license, the objective of the temporary operating license toll is for 2 years. The main objective is to allow us to run the plant and then measure the actual reading and compare whether the actual reading is the same like what we submitted in our document. So if you do not issue the toll, if we do not get our toll, then we have no opportunity to prove that what we submitted, the actual reading is same like what we submitted. So we need the toll as fast as possible to prove that this plant is safe. And without this toll, we cannot bring, we need 1 month to bring the material from Australia. And this delay has very serious commercial impact to 3 people, to 3 organizations. Of course, Lynas is facing huge opportunity loss. Number 2, our suppliers. You must remember, our suppliers, they build plant. They build the chemical plants costing maybe about 250 million ringgits. When they build the plant is ready for production, and yet they cannot produce. So our supplier is also facing a financial problem. Number 3, so our supplier is facing problem, we are facing problem, and our customers, they are also facing problem because they promise to their customers. So 3 parties are facing huge problems. And of course, our competitor, previously our competitor is way behind us. Now all this delay has enabled our competitor to catch up, and that is not good because it impacts our customer relationship. So to answer your question, yes, it has a very serious impact to 3 parties: supplier, Lynas, and our customer.
To clarify your first answer, so you said that you're ready to fire up in a fortnight.
Yes.
Does that mean you'll be receiving your first shipment of minerals in a fortnight? Could you just maybe clarify that?
Ready in a fortnight means, you see, without the temporary operating license toll, we cannot import the raw material, which we need 1 month. Without the toll, we cannot put our raw material into the process. So even though we are ready in 2 weeks' time, we cannot start because we don't have the raw material. And then you understand? So without the license, we cannot start. Without the license, we cannot bring in the raw material. So the plant is ready in 2 weeks' time, waiting to start. Okay. For our first phase, we have our customers lined up to take our product. Okay? Of course, I am not going to tell you our customers. Okay? Point number two, remember when we were, because we do not have the toll, therefore we cannot bring in the raw material. That is very clear cut. But being proactive, we know we cannot bring in the raw material, but what do? As part of our preparation, we want to do trial run. So trial run means, what we do, we shoot 2 empty containers from the mine. The mine is 1,000 kilometers from Perth. The mine is 1,000 kilometers from Perth. So we shoot 1 container, and then we time. When this container arrives Perth, what are the logistical problems, at Perth? And then we put it onto the ship. And then we want to know, so that we get all this data. And then we shoot another container. When the container in Perth left, we shoot the second container. These are empty containers because we cannot bring in the raw material. Why we do all this? So that we have the actual answer. From the desert to from the mine to the Perth, how many days? Last time was theoretical. Now we do the actual thing. Okay, how many days does it take to clear at Perth? Then how many days does it take to go to Singapore? And how many days does it need to be cleared in Singapore? It has to be removed in Singapore, transshipment, because it got to be put on the feeder vessel. But because of all these problems, so what we do, we stop the container in Singapore. That's all. So it was a try run. Apa dia soalan ni? Oh, number 1, competitor. I think you check the internet lah. Nah? There are not many players. 50 miles from Las Vegas.
Talk about FDI of 2.5 billion ringgit. How much have you spent so far for this plant so far? And what are the consequences if you had to go away? Or do you not see this possibility?
Okay, the total investment is 2.5 billion. You split that 1.5 billion is for phase 1. Okay, for phase 1. And out of that 1.5 billion for phase 1, I would put it at 50% to 60% spent in Malaysia. I would put about 60% of that is spent in the country. Already spent in the country for various contractors throughout the country. Okay, out of that, if you take 60% of 1.5 billion, you calculate, and then out of that, I think I did 600 or 700 million. Out of that, 500 million is given to contractors in Kuantan. Okay, for the phase 2, it is 1 billion. Again, I would split that 60% were spent in the country, 60% or 600 million, and out of that, maybe half of that is for the Kuantan contractors. The one that go overseas are like specialized equipment or some engineering work, so that one will go abroad. But otherwise, the money is spent in the country, especially Kuantan. Thank you.
The question on the consequences.
I have full confidence. You see, when you invest in a country, before you invest, you will invest in a country whereby the rules and regulation and requirement are clear. And you have every confidence that the rules and requirement, the laws are respected by everybody, including the government. So when you invest in the country, you will only invest when the rules are clear, when the rules are upheld, when the rules are respected. Therefore, I have every confidence the country, the government, the people, the authorities will respect the rule that has been established, the rules that has been established, the rules that make us want to come and invest in this country. Because It is very simple for any investor. If you keep changing the goalposts, then that is very frightening for investors.
Looks like it's going to drag on, and they said they're going to court and all this. How long can you tahan? I'm not operating. I'm not being able to run.
I did mention to you it has very serious consequence financially and your customer relation. I already mentioned you the three parties, but I'm not going to answer you how long I can last. But I can say that it will have it has a very adverse impact on all the parties.
You said that it has the capability of being permanent, but that it's going to be temporary. Can you give us some more details? How temporary, how many years, what's been decided so far? And secondly, how is your campaign to sort of engage local committees? How's that going?
Thank you. Okay. The residue storage facility which you are going to see when you go around the plant, if you stop asking more questions, okay? Remember, it is built on the ground. It is not, it's way above the water table. The design, remember, it has about four safety features, okay? Which I already described. You can read in the booklet. It has been designed as if it is going to store permanently. Even though we are going to store temporarily, but the way it's been designed and constructed, it can cater for permanent storage. But we are not going to do that. Here I'm trying to tell you that we over-design the thing. We over-design the thing to store something as if it's to store it only temporarily, but the design can cater for permanent. Okay? Okay, how long? The entire site we can store up to 17 to 18 years of storage. But the fact that we are very well advanced in our research for commercialization of our waste, we only built a number of residue storage which will cater to meet our, when you produce it, you got to go to the government for approval. Once they approve, you got to go to your customer. Example, Professor showed to you very clearly our NUF residue has no radioactive, which is meant to be used for fertilizer. Okay? So, because of the amount of money and time we spend on our research, because of the advancement we made, the research is done in Australia, England, and Malaysia. That is why the storage facility we have today is only for a short while, enough to take us through to get acceptance from the customer. Or public engagement. I have answered your question, man. Public engagement. We have engaged to date. I can tell you, maybe more than 10,000 people. We are doing this like every weekend. In fact, tonight we got another engagement at. You talk about university. We engage the UIA, the medical student, medical professors. We go and engage them. Tonight we also got another universities to go. We engage all the local people here. We engage all the political parties that wanted to be engaged. We engage, why don't I tell you whom that did not come yet? Very simple. Only two groups of people that did not come. I have stated again and again, if you look at my press statement, I invite all parties to come to the site, to see for yourself, to get your own clarification, to see the document. So we have been very open for anybody who wants to come, and bring your own relevant expert also to come and clarify. But please don't bring those who don't understand, because it gets complicated. Okay? So we said that all along. But two groups of people, there is one group, we send our people, please come. They say, yes, we will come. I think that is about 8 months ago. Until now, did not come. Okay? We sent to another group. We got evidence, black and white. Yes, they want to come, but with 8 conditions. I have the evidence. You can take the email. You can see 8 conditions. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, I have nothing to hide. You can come, but the moment you put conditions, that is not right. Let me read the condition. I got to put the spec here. Don't take photograph. Full video recording be allowed. To be honest, if you go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, they won't allow you to record their kitchen. The chicken or chicken? The chicken and the kitchen. Okay? But, to be honest, if you come next time, you can do your recording. I got nothing. We got nothing to hide. The group is allowed to take photographs in and around the plant. But the most interesting one, no press involvement. Why? To get written agreement from Lynas, they will not spin the engagement. Bring the legal observers. The right to walk anywhere in the plant without any restrict, blah, 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 blah. But you see, I mean, look, I've been running plant for 31 years. There are things which restrict your movement because of safety and then because of intellectual property. I am willing to forego that because to prove the point, I have nothing to hide. But the moment you put conditions, it put me off. Can I go to your house? I want to check everything in your wardrobe. I want to check what you eat. I want to check how you sleep.
For me, it's alright.
Huh? You sleep alone, is it? Mayo, lapo. Okay, enough. Yes, ma'am.
Have you received any indication from the government of when you will get a decision on the temporary operating license?
I have not received any indication from the government when I will get my TOL. But my message is, I need the TOL immediately to enable for me to prove that Lynas, the actual reading are like what we have submitted. Thank you.
And so can I just specify, when you say the actual reading, are you talking about the radioactivity
Everything.
reading? The
Ma'am,
readings of...
okay, the purpose of the temporary operating license, it is 2 years. Okay, before we start, you know, we got all our results based on the pilot plan done by ENSTO and SDS. Those are not numbers plucked from the air. Those are numbers that come from R&D research bodies. So we gave these numbers to them, and these numbers are the numbers that are required by those that approve this project. Example, DOE will say, okay, what will your water discharge be? It must comply to the 32 parameters, blah, blah, blah. What are the numbers that will come out? Your air emission, what will it come out? We said, based on our pilot plan, these are the numbers that will come out. So now, those numbers are numbers from the pilot plan. I repeat, from the pilot plan, right? So, those are the numbers we gave to the authority, and based on international standard, they approve. Okay? Now, the purpose of the toll now, okay, those are numbers from the pilot plan. Now, run the plan. We will come with their various bodies or independent bodies. They will come and check whether what we submit, actual numbers, is same as what we submitted. Okay?
So I just need to clarify a few things.
Yeah.
Your license that you got from Perth, is it the same for the same plant that you are planning here in Malaysia, or it's a different or a more complicated one? And the other thing about your residue, I understand that.
That's 2 questions.
I understand that this one is the biggest rare earth plant in Malaysia. That's what everyone is saying in the world.
No.
Well, it's one of the biggest.
No.
Right?
I can answer first question first. Can you repeat? I forgot already.
Your Perth license.
The Perth license was issued in what was it?
2004.
Valid for 3 years.
Correct.
To build the exact plan we are building here.
Exact plant.
Exact plan. Okay? Exact plan to be built at that area.
Alright.
They give us a 3 years period. But because I mentioned to you, because of the economic reason, blah blah, that is why we came here. Okay, the second one about the waste.
I haven't finished the second question.
Okay.
Because I just wanted to know, because you said that you started R&D on commercialization in 2009, and you said this is a proven technology, right? For the past 40 years you've had this. So, are there, I'm not an expert in this, and therefore I'm asking you.
Sure.
Is this a common industry practice to commercialize residue into products to be sold, or is this the first time anyone is doing it?
This industry is a proven. The technology is proven, nothing new. There are people who keep this. There are people who keep this for future applications. Example, there was one industry they visited. They kept behind the plant. Their radiation is about 10 times more, but they kept 100 meters behind the plant. Why? Because later they want to use it and extract different mineral. So some people keep to extract mineral. Some people use it for application, like road-based application. That is already a common application.
So in the rare earth industry, it's common, is it, to convert this into something that you can commercialize?
You see, whether you're in rare earth industry or you're in mineral, let's talk mineral industry. Rare earth is part of the mineral. Rare earth is only a branch of the mineral industry. So this thing is a common application. So, but you still got to use it specific to your residue. You cannot say other people do that, so I also do that. When you do research, it has to be specific.
Then who are the potential buyers, and will the customer consign of the material? Whether the material that they use.
That's why.
The consumers, yeah.
Whether the
Have
customer?
the consent of the material that use.
Or whether they consent?
Yeah.
Of course.
You give informed consent to the.
Yeah. For them to buy, we are not giving free. This residue is money, so we are not giving free. So for us to, we are not giving free trying to dispose. We are selling it as a product. So for us to sell the product, we got to tell what are the properties of our material. Okay, and they will also. Our properties of our material, they will tell what are the properties that they require. Then we got to match it, and then we got to get that approval from the authority. So, of course, consent or whatnot, both parties and the authorities got to agree. The seller, the buyer, and the authorities. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Yes, I'm not telling you my potential buyer. Yeah.
But the technology is ready, lah. You just have to run it.
Shannon, as I mentioned, you know not, for us to do the research, we got to produce this waste, like what we are going to produce, 38,000 ringgit per kilogram. I told you, right? We spend million for research with bodies in Australia, England, and Malaysia to find how to make it safe and to find commercial application. But what is stopping now is that we cannot talk until the actual waste comes out.